is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Hello, good evening, everybody. It is Friday night. It is exactly 9:07 p.m. if you're watching us in the Pacific. And if you're watching us in the Philippines, where I'm currently at, it is 1:07 p.m. as well. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat for people overseas, as well as magandang tanghali sa inyong lahat if you are watching us in the Philippines. Everybody, it is such a beautiful day. It's kind of humid here where I'm at in Manila. And if you are watching us in different parts of the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And hello to our Team Replay and Team Share. Also, before anything else, before I introduce you to our special guest for today's episode, we are live in different platforms, namely Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, as well as iHeartRadio. We are also live simultaneously on PHLB Radio Facebook page, as well as PHLB Radio YouTube channel. So if you're not a subscriber yet, please do like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss any of the episode from inception of my show to now. So once we're done with the show, it will be already archived, and you can always watch it and repeat it as much as you want. We are also live if you are using Alexa. Just say, Alexa, play PHLB Radio. And if you are using Amazon Fire TV, just look for PHLB Radio channel. Yeah, and and if you have any questions, comments, or any suggestions for a succeeding episode, you could either email me or Facebook page me, or you could go to our website, which is www.phlbradio.com. Yeah, and so before anything else, I wish you had a wonderful lunch or having a wonderful lunch with your friends, family, significant others, and whoever you have, or anybody special in your life. Please do have a wonderful day today. It's like what I said, it's kind of humid today. So before anything else, eto na, this is much awaited. And of course, let me greet first our first honor, Bing Lao Mayor, and she's watching us from Calibo, Aklan, a very good friend of mine. And of course, she's considered, the Lao Mayor are considered my family in Calibo, Aklan. And then Ernie's watching us as well. Oh, Cesar Ong Jr. is watching us. So happy viewing sa'yo. Also, Carmi Ong Santos Ong is watching us. Desi Santos is watching us from Quezon City as well. So without much further ado, eto na, you will know more about everything about you would like to know. You'll watch some of the videos. And of course, there's some background about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Sambo. And maybe we'll touch a little bit of Judo. I was curious, honestly, before I invited our guest to guest on the show or to be here at the show, because I have no idea what Jiu-Jitsu is. I grew up in the world of judo and karate, but have no idea what it is. I know what MMA is, but I have no idea to the world of jiu-jitsu. It took me a while to understand the whole concept. I have to do my research and my due diligence just to understand what the whole concept, the whole world, why there's this craze about jiu-jitsu, and people that I know, even artistas and artists and good friends are quite familiar with jiu-jitsu now. I guess I'm the only one that's not so abreast with it. That's why I invited our special guest for today. So without much further ado, let me introduce to you JOHN Gabriel Ong. Hi, John.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world. My name is John, and I'm today's very special guest, as Kuya Josh eloquently put it. So, hello.
Okay, John, let's touch about some personal things first. And you graduated, I think from grade school. Correct me if I'm wrong. From grade school to college, it's Lourdes School, right?
Not college. Grade school to high school, yes, it was Lourdes here in Quezon City.
In Rio, right?
Yes. For college, I graduated at Benil De La Salle College
Oh,
of
that's
Civil.
right, LaSalle Benil. What was
Yes.
your major?
I majored in consular and diplomatic affairs.
Ooh, you never know. You might
Yeah.
be a consul general one of these days.
I
I think
mean,
the end of that is up to age 35. So if ever you're gonna be that, let me know because I have good friends who are part of the Philippine consul in different parts of the world. So that will be very interesting. Okay, hello, sabi ni Cesar Ong Jr. Hello, everybody. Okay, now how big is your family, John? How many
I,
siblings do you have?
I only have one, an older brother,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, we're just four in the family, but pretty close with my aunt and cousin. So I would say, yeah, we're about six in the family. So
Oh, okay, interesting. And your home base is in Quezon City.
yes.
Okay. Now let me give you a surprise which you didn't know. John, Gio, can you send or you can you show on screen the happy
Oh.
family that yeah, there you go.
Oh. Wait, I'm just
And
gonna.
I understand this looks like a Great Wall of China.
Yes, this was
Okay, when was this?
this was last year June. Oh yeah, early June last year, just
Oh,
before my
okay.
competition actually.
And to my understanding, you guys enjoyed being together, traveling together. And I think recently you just came from, is it Japan that you came from?
Yes, that we went to Japan a couple of months ago, around November to December.
Okay.
And
And then how
yeah,
many times do you do this a year? You guys, as a family, you travel together.
it depends. Sometimes twice or thrice a year. It honestly depends on the availability and, of course, the financial aspect of things.
Of course, just like anything else in the world. Now, any plans like part of the year? Because it's already March. So do you have plans for like a next trip? I think you're going somewhere again.
Yeah, and about let me just check the calendar. In about a week or so. Yeah, in about 2 weeks' time, we'll be going to Taiwan for about a week.
Is this your first time in Taiwan?
Yes, it is. I'm very excited for the food. I hear really good things.
Oh, is that something that you really enjoy? What kind of food do you enjoy, John?
Uh mostly well, okay, I'll be very honest. I like meat. I like anything that's meat. I will enjoy it.
Like steak.
Yeah, steak, beef, pork, chicken, even sometimes even fish, but not as much. But yeah, that's the food that I enjoy the most, and of course, street food. You know,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, street food, of course. Now, John,
yeah, yeah.
now that you all said that you enjoy that, but I understand you have this diet.
Oh.
Is this something that you acquired? 'Cause I went crazy knowing about it because you only have food like once a day.
Yeah. So, um, all right. Health enthusiasts, don't come after me. This is what works for me. This might not work for you, but I eat only once a day. It's called OMAD, which is one meal a day, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and it has been yielding the best results because I used to be as heavy as 110 kilos, and just with consistent OMAD and workout, I've dropped that down to 85, 84 kilos. So, and that's just by eating what I want in that one meal, you know? So, yeah, it works.
But
At least
now,
for
when you
me.
eat this one meal a day, what
Yeah.
kind of food do you just eat anything on site? Since I would assume you're so hungry or famished by that time.
Well, technically, I could. I could eat whatever I want, but I've found that what really helps keep things in check is if I consume just, well, not just, but primarily meat. So beef, pork, chicken. If it's all just, not all, but about 80% of my food is consists of that, then I would say, yeah, it would, yeah, that works. That helped.
Well, you're quite popular. We're 93 1,000 people already watching live.
Are you serious?
So there's, I think you need to do some shout out. I think these are either supporters, friends, or followers of yours. See, Chris Corderos, he
Oh
said,
yeah. Hi,
Johnny John
Chris.
Gabriel. And then Kyla San Juan said, whoa, John Gabriel. And then Sarina de Guzman D, once a day meal. Wow.
Who is this? I'm not very familiar with this person, but hello there, Sarina. Hello.
Yeah, so give them a shout out because I have a lot of people doing loves, heart, and thumbs up. So now we're up to 100 people. Anyways,
Yeah. Anyways,
since we talk about a little bit about your family that you like to travel together, and I know for a fact you guys eat every time. You always eat out every time as a family, which is so cool. Now let's show first. Let's show first your mom,
okay.
Joe.
What is that? Let me see.
That's
Oh,
your
okay.
mom's. I think that's the 60th birthday. Now she's a
Yeah.
senior citizen.
Wait, is
Now,
it? Yeah.
that's right, right? I think this was taken at Alba restaurant.
Oh yes, it was. Yeah, it was in Alba.
Okay, since we showed her already, do you have a message for her?
Not really. No. Because anyway,
Certainly you have a message for her.
I don't know. I guess I would say don't watch. I'll be telling some stories that are probably not for you to well, I wouldn't say not for you to hear. It's not very PG rated, but I'm just a little shy. But yeah.
Shy, hello.
But yeah,
That's a
no.
lot.
Yeah, I don't really. I guess continue to support me in the endeavors that I pursue, and that never stop being there. And thanks.
Oh, how sweet. Now, since we show your mom, I'm gonna show your dad.
I
Yo, can we show the picture of the father? There you go.
Oh, it's his birthday as well in high rise.
Yes, high rise buffet. So, message for dad. And people are telling me once they I showed them the picture of you and your dad, you are a dead ringer of your father.
Yeah, same. I'm not really the same, but I guess thanks for supporting me all these years with the sports that I've done. There's been a lot, and I've been injured a lot. So thanks for the financial support, and never getting angry at me getting hospitalized and all that. So yeah.
Now, so would you consider yourself a good son? As far as relatively good son?
I try to be. I don't want to say I am, but I try to be.
Oh, that's being honest. Thank you for your honesty. Now, since you said you only have one brother, an older brother, let's show him on screen as well.
Okay.
And what can you tell about your brother? Because I know he's a jet setter and a fashionista.
He's he's what I call an underrated influencer. He's not.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good word.
Yeah, he's not well known, but he should be. So yeah, I'll just keep it like that. He's not well known, but he should be.
Now, growing up, because there's only two of you and both of you are boys. Now, do you guys bicker with each other? Do you fight? How's the dynamics between the two of you?
Surprisingly, we don't really fight. The last fight I think we had was when we were not really kids, but pre-teen, I would say. Yeah, we don't really fight. We're very, very close. We actually joke around a lot. Like we even sometimes outside, we even joke still. So I would say our dynamic is one built on a lot of teasing and I would say a lot of harmless, not harm, yeah, harmless jokes.
Okay. Now, how does it feel to be the youngest in the family?
I can't answer that question, to be honest, because, and I swear to God, this is real, but every single person I've ever met who's met me and my brother at the same time have said that I am the older brother. So I don't,
Because
because I'm bigger, I look more mature, and I look more intimidating. And let's face it, they say I look older. So you guys can comment down below or wherever you may be watching this. If I do, you've seen the photo of my brother. Let me know if it's true or not.
okay, and Emmeline Badao, Badao or
Hello,
Badao
Evelyn.
said hi, John. Yes, and then Chris Cordero is giving you a lot of hearts and
Oh,
clap.
thank.
And then Roinick Hernandez watching us from Quezon City. And oh, by the way, I'm glad that Ronald is back home. So Ronald, congratulations. And then Kyla San Juan says +1 for Matthew. You see
Nah,
that?
I wasn't.
And
Wait,
then
wait. Let me check it real quick. Ah, yes, I see it.
and then Devin Santos says hi, John Gabriel, watching from
Hey, Dev.
the Jajestan. Where's that?
Dagestan. It's a
Pakistan.
joke. It's a joke between he's a teammate of mine. Hi Dev. Shout out Dev and Outlaws. But yeah,
Yeah. Because I do. I mean, I travel a lot too, but I have not heard of that place. So, is this a country, a city, or
yeah,
is that part of a joke?
it's a country near it, it's not yeah, it's a country near Russia where the
Ah,
best wrestlers come from.
ah,
All the best wrestlers come from Dagestan.
okay. Now, before I understand, with my research, you used to play soccer, right?
No, and not
The
soccer.
football,
No, rugby. I used to play rugby.
rugby, yeah. Because I'm
Yes.
so sometimes different countries call it differently. So, are you still pursuing that?
No, not anymore. I've uh I've switched my interests to a little bit more extreme. As if rugby wasn't extreme enough. But
And
yeah,
then
I
what?
sorry.
Okay, what got you into this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Sambo? Firstly, let's talk about the sport itself. It's a martial art combat sports, right? Now,
Yeah.
what's the difference between Jiu-Jitsu, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Sambo?
Okay.
Let's
So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
give us some background on that, because at least for our viewers across the globe, Filipinos as well as non-Filipinos, tell us more about that, these sports that you got yourself into.
Okay, so um to put it in a very simple way, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a combat sport that focuses mainly on grappling. Um, Meaning it's like when you play fight with your sibling. That's the best way I'd like to put it for people that don't know what grappling is. It's like play fighting with your sibling, only 100 times more intense because you're trying to choke out or break the other person's limbs. But that's not really all of that. But yeah, that's grappling. So jiu-jitsu is a grappling based sport that your goal is to either tap the opponent out, which is either choke them or put them in a submission that will make them tap out, or win via points, which I will get into later. Whereas Sambo is a combat sport that originated in Russia, that focuses mainly on takedowns. There's still a little bit of grappling involved, but not as much as jiu-jitsu. And it's, I would say, 5 times as harder because it's so much more action. It's so much more non-stop action.
And
So
how
yeah.
long, like when you are in competition, because I know you joined some competition, how walk us to the process. Like, is it a one-on-one, and then I mean, we'll see that in the video. But how does it work? I mean, do you guys? become sports people, or at the end of the day, you continue your fight outside of the arena, outside of the arena? I mean, because especially in some cultures, I'm not gonna be specific on the culture.
Mm-hmm.
There's what we call picon. They get
Mm-hmm.
really work out, and of course they continue to do it outside, because sometimes can get hurt, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So how does it work though? I mean, is it a one-on-one? Is it a group effort? Walk us through the competition.
Okay, so you registered for the competition probably about a couple of months out. On
Mhm.
competition day, you'll check your uh you'll check the table, or you check the what do you call that? There's a word for it. It's not registering to me right now, but basically you check the list of what your times for the matches are, and normally it depends on how many times you're gonna compete in that day, depending on um how many competitors joined and who's there. Because sometimes people back out last minute because of injuries. So you can compete as many as on the top of my head, I think it's about 6 or 7 matches in a day, and one as little as, or sometimes as little as, just 2 matches. And when you compete and you, let's say you end the match, it depends. I mean, if you're really pissed off with the person, then yeah, I guess you could you could,
Are you sure?
no,
Wow.
no, no, no. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But no, at the end of the match, combat sport is still, jiu-jitsu is still a martial art. So yeah, you're taught to respect your opponent. So after every match, you shake the hand of the opponent and you just leave it there all on the mats. And some of my good friends, some of my opponents ended up being good friends. So I would say that uh yeah, it's a good path to getting friends, choking people out.
I think it's there's a certain type of people who would really be into it, because I've seen the videos of your fight. I mean, those are really physical. When I talk about physical, really getting hurt. And
Mhm.
then in
Mhm.
one of and I heard about it and I know about it, that you got hurt. How did that go?
Which one? The most recent one? Or
Well,
the most
the
major one?
toe, one was the toe that I heard, and then the other one is your eye. So how did it? I mean, because I know it's a combat sport, but is there any ruling? First, my first question for you, and I know a lot of people would like to know too. How are you competed? How are you pitted together? Is it by weight, by
But,
height? Just like,
but
remember in boxing, it's by weight. It's not regardless of your height, but it's by weight. How about in jiu-jitsu?
in jiu-jitsu, there's weight categories. It's by weight. I don't remember on top of my head because the weight classes are a little bit weird.
Mhm.
It's I don't really remember, but I know it's not your typical weight classes.
Mhm.
For Sambo, it's also by weight, but in increments of 10. So
Okay.
it's plus 98, minus 9, minus 88, minus 77, minus 66, and so on and so on.
Okay, and then
So
when you go into competition, like you're doing your combat sport, and then how can one know that the other opponent says, "I'm done"?
they tap
Remember,
out.
some
Sorry?
they call it tap out.
Yeah, so there are two ways to tap out. One is you verbally tell the referee or your opponent that tap 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 tap. That's if you can't use your hands. But the most general, or the one that we all use, the universal one, is you take your hand and you just tap it anywhere, your body, your opponent's body, the floor, or even just air out like this, and that usually means just a tap.
Oh, okay. Well, aside from tapping out, how would you know you won?
Via
Is it how
point.
does the scoring works?
So in jiu-jitsu, the scoring works. So if you take an opponent down, you get, so you're both standing up. You get his back on the floor and you hold it there for 3 seconds. That's a point. That's 2 points. That's considered a takedown. And then when you pass his guard, which is when you pass both of his legs on the way to his ribs or his side, that's also another 2 points. Same goes for when you put his knee on the belly and you hold that for 3 seconds. That's another 2 points. Or is it 2 points or three? Let me just figure out. So it's 2 points. So sorry, guard pass is 3 points. I'm sorry, I got confused. Guard pass is 3 points. Knee on belly is 2 points. And when you mount the person, which is when you go on top of him, you sit down on their chest and you stay there for about 3 seconds. That's 4 points. And same goes for when you take their back. So when you're on their back and you put your legs in between their thighs and you control them, that's also 4 points. And the points accumulate, and then at the end of the match, which is depending on your rank, it's either 5, 6, 7, 8, or 10 minutes. Then they'll tally, and whichever one's the higher points, then that's the one that wins. If you don't get a submission.
Yeah, just listening to your explanation, it seems like I'm hurting already.
It's
Like-
okay.
'Cause
It can be a little bit complex to understand, but it's actually fairly easy. Just but I would say that the point system really works. But if you're competing with a lot of people, let's say that you have 16 competitors in your bracket, that's the term I was looking for. The bracket. If you have 16 competitors in your bracket, most of your teammates or your coaches will ask you to get a submission because you don't want to run down the clock because that will exhaust you. If you're planning to win all of your matches, because that's a lot of matches sometimes 4, 5, and all in very short times with each other. So sometimes your best bet, your best strategy would be to get a submission as fast as possible.
Okay. Now, let me say hello first, and maybe you could do a shout out.
Yeah,
Elise
sure.
Ong is watching us
Ay,
as well.
tita.
Sabi niya, buti na lang umabot. Nakalimutan ko eh. Churi? Okay. And then Roel Ambil is watching, say hello, sir. And then, of course, Florence Ronald Pinon, watching from Pampanga. Okay, hello, everybody. And say hello also if these are for your friends or your supporters or your followers.
Hello, peoples.
When you're training, though,
Mhm.
it comes just like what I know, it comes with belts, right?
Yes. Sorry, I was looking at the comments.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, it comes with belts. It comes with ranks. So there are 5 in jiu-jitsu. There's the white belt, which is like the very beginner. There's the blue belt, which I'm currently at, and it signifies the start of your journey to the colored belts. It's you're an intermediate. Oh yeah, you're an intermediate. You have the basics all down, but you're still learning a lot. And then you have the purple, which is the middle ground, I would say. That's the belt where you either polish things, or and that's where you polish and you figure out what your attacks are, what your go-to submissions are, what your game plan is when you go into matches, and you try to perfect those. So brown belt, which is I would say you're almost there. You're really almost there. It's basically just being more technical. working on perfecting your game plan. And then black, not the highest, but the that's the ultimate goal of every athlete, is to get to black. It's not the highest, because the highest is red, but yeah. But black is technically the highest in most people's in most sports. And that's where you become a beginner again. That's where that's where you learn everything again, but in a black belt's point of view this time.
Mm.
So yeah.
So is it almost like karate? Because karate has all the belts as well.
Yeah, I guess so. But in karate, I know that there are a lot more colored belts than there are with jiu-jitsu. Because in jiu-jitsu, you only rank up 5 times. And with each promotion or grading, as we call it, or general assembly, it depends on who you ask, you don't really get a new colored belt. It's very long. The process is arduous and very long, but very worth it. What you instead get, the difference with karate and jiu-jitsu is that when you get when you get graded, you get a stripe.
Mhm.
You get a stripe for each grade, and then you get 4 of those, and then you can, if the instructor or the professor thinks that you're skilled enough, he will then promote you to the next level. So that's it. 4 stripes, and then you get promoted.
Okay, so and there's no time limit for that, meaning after 3 months, 6 months, a year, you get a belt. So how does it work? The number of wins?
Yeah, generally the reasoning behind promotions is, or when you get promoted, is if you compete enough times and you win, you always win. It shows that, okay, this person is skilled enough that he's dominating the white belt division or the blue belt division. I think it's time that we rank him up or we promote him. But then sometimes, if you're not a competitor like that, if you're not built out for that kind of stuff, you could always just be consistent, show up, train every day, and perfect, or not perfect, but try to be as consistent as possible and be as better as you were yesterday. And with enough time, the instructor or the professor will tell you, hey, you know what? I think you deserve a stripe. Or hey, I think you're skilled enough that you're beating some of the other belts of your rank. It's time we promoted you. Something like that.
So would you say it's kind of subjective?
Yeah, I would say so some teams have a like a test that you have to do in order to see whether or not you're skilled enough to be promoted to the next. And some just purely based on merit, like when they see you compete a lot and you dominate, like you really dominate the division, dominate all of your competitions, then yeah, they'll promote you on the spot.
Mhm. Now, as far as expenses, how expensive it is to train? Is this something that just like karate, you enroll and then you have your lessons, you have your practices, and there's a component? Is that something is that something uh, could cost a lot, or anybody can join? I still have to understand firstly, why people would go to jiu-jitsu and get hurt.
So, yes, it can get pricey. I'm not gonna lie. Some classes, so if you pay per class, it can get really expensive because some classes do 600 pesos per class, or some more than that. And if you do, let's say, 4 classes in a week, that adds up. and then in about a month, that's a lot of money. So I generally tend to go for the unlimited option so that I can at least, you know, uh, not spend so much. But yeah, it's a little expensive. Just the classes alone, and of course, the treatment of injuries, the gi itself, the equipment, it can get a little expensive, but it's worth it. I mean, I think so.
Wow. Now, as far as what other thing that I'm curious about is, remember you don't know your opponent, right? Or
Oh yeah.
the other person. What if that person happens to have a body odor?
I mean, you just the thing with combat people or combat athletes or martial artists in general is that um, our mindset going into the sport is we're already paying to get hurt, so you just gotta suck it up. So that's technically what you're going to do if you meet somebody with really bad BO. Is that they're like you can't just say, "Oh my God, wait, no, stop the fight! It stinks so bad." You can't do that. They'll be like, "What? Just go! What is all this drama? Just compete." And
Oh
you'll get
wow.
flagged. You'll no, not flagged, but you'll get so much shit for that. Sorry, but yeah, you'll get so much shit
Well,
from your.
during your competition, have you experienced something like that?
Thankfully, no. Thankfully, like I'm so glad I never got to experience that. Because generally, Filipinos, I would say, are very um hygienic.
That's right.
So I mean, yeah, there are still some outliers here and there. You know, there are some people that when you train with them, you'll be like, oh my god, okay, okay. But yeah, generally for the most part, competitors they smell nice. You know, they don't smell that bad.
Okay, before we continue, Mary Gay is watching us. Mary, where are you watching us from? And Jolly Kate Esquilio.
Ah, yeah,
Esquilio.
no, it's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, she's giving a heart and clap, clap. And then Janine Estolonio
Ige.
Ige. Yeah, watching from Negros Occidental. Wow. And then, of course, Cesar Ong, your dad says, watching from Quezon City. Now, I'd like to touch on the portion like, why would anybody go why would anybody train for jiu-jitsu and pay to get hurt? Seems like that. I mean, do you have like a vendetta on yourself?
Well, okay, so okay. So I would say it like this: life is extremely unfair. Life is extremely cruel. Life will hold no punches. So you gotta learn how to take hits. You gotta learn how to, how to be strong in the face of adversity. And jujitsu teaches you that because jujitsu, so jujitsu, if you really dive down to its roots, is a self defense art, combat. Oh no, not sport, not combat. It's a self defense martial art intended to help little people like women, kids, um, smaller men have a fighting chance against bigger people, opponents of a much larger size. And that's really the mindset since then, I mean, with the rise of competitions and the rise of it becoming a sport, yeah, then you've got the combat aspect of it. But yeah, why would anybody want to go or learn to get hurt? Because life is cruel. Like shit, a lot of things will happen to you in your everyday life. So it's best to be prepared, to have the mental toughness and the physical readiness to, deter whatever might come your way.
Interesting. And then there's two ladies that just came in. Emmeline Badao,
Oh
or
yeah,
Badao, watching from Fully Booked,
yeah.
SM North. And then I have
Really?
Apple
Wow.
B. Concepcion Santiago. She said, "Hello, coach."
she's she's a really nice she's a really good friend. She's a good friend.
Okay, good friend as in good friend.
No. She has a husband. No.
Okay. Yeah, I got a PM message here, private message, not on the chat. He
Yeah,
said, "Is John still single?"
yeah, I would say so. Wait, who sent you this message?
It's not. It's a private message here.
Also, it's not something you can see.
No, private message to
Oh,
me. I
okay.
guess she is kind of shy, I guess. Normally when they private message me while we're on live, normally the questions they don't put that on the chat box or the
Mhm.
chat room. They normally PM me.
Okay. Okay.
So you're single and
Yes.
ready to mingle, right?
I would say so, yeah. Yeah. I guess I
Okay,
would say so, yeah.
there's a follow-up. What is his type? Is it chinita, morena, sexy, average, long hair,
Wow,
things like that?
Wow, 20 questions. Okay, wasn't expecting to dive into personal interests, but okay. I guess I would say chinita.
Okay.
What the chinita? A petite. I know it's so cliche though because it's a Filipino thing. I mean, most men you ask will say a short-haired chinita with glasses. That's what they'll say, and yeah, that's kind of what I'm gonna say as well because
That's your
I don't know.
preference.
Yeah, it's not a hardcore preference, okay? Just if anyone's watching out there, it's not a hardcore preference. I'm just saying it because, I mean, right? Like, yeah, I'm just that's the preference that is not really a dead set preference. It's just like, it's kind of like asking if you like beef or chicken. As of right now, it's beef, but it can go chicken as well.
What about age? Are you into older women or younger women?
Honestly, I'm fine with dating someone. Okay, this is gonna sound really weird, but I'm fine with dating someone either 10 years younger or 10 years older. I'm fine with either. Age really isn't a factor for me. It's more of the morals and the personality of the person.
Okay, interesting. And then Jack Ross is watching from Los Angeles, California. Hi, Jack. And then Zarina de Guzman D. Enduring pain while enjoying arts. That's what she said. Excited to watch some videos of John. Don't worry, Zarina. We have a lot of videos that is gonna
It's
show us
coming,
and walk
guys.
us through.
It's gonna
Then
come.
and then your dad says, or Cesar Ong Jr., single and ready to mingle. That's right. And then Jomira Mayor says, ha 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 ha, alam na, Joseph Miguel.
I was reading the comments as well. Yeah, she's a good, really good friend of mine. She's one of my best friends.
Okay, now people are asking now, can we show some videos and walk us through when this happened and what's going on? And of course, you're the expert on combat sport or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Sambo. Walk us through.
Gabriel Onge. Congratulations. Please proceed to the podium to receive your medals. Thank you.
There, John.
It's a little small, so I gotta.
Stop down, John. Stop the night. Chill.
Oh, this is gonna be a really long video, though.
It's
Lower,
okay.
John. Lower, John.
Yeah, that one that was really shouting. That was really shouting. That was my coach,
Nice.
and that is that's one of my go-to moves. I really like wrestling.
Lastly, Regatta from the Jiu-Jitsu versus
Look at that. Seems like they want to kill each other.
That's technically, yeah. You're not wrong because, oh no, sorry. How do I do this? Wait, I click. There we go. But sorry, I'm zoomed in because it's a little small. But yeah, yeah. So your goal basically in the match is to just purely dominate your opponent, because if you don't, they're gonna get a chance to dominate you. So yeah, we got resetted here because we went out of bounds, so we had to reset back into the center and go in the position that we were previously at. And now I'm here in the side control, and I'm going to try and break his arm, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
but you
that-
have to be inside that mat, right?
Yeah,
You have to be
yeah.
inside that square.
And now that's a full mount, and I got points now. So I'm up on points. I'm up on a lot of points. And that's when I tried to break his arm. So on the other side, you would see that I locked my hands like this, and I basically, so I was here, and then I just tilted upwards a little bit. So it's called an Americana, and you're just gonna drag his arm. So it's like this. You're gonna drag it here, and then you're gonna bring this a little bit up, and that's gonna hurt a lot from the shoulders, so all the way to the elbow. So this is my match with a really good with Matthew. He's a really good guy. He's a really funny guy too. He was actually one of the opponents I really enjoyed fighting against. Because we were kind of talking at that match, saying, "Yo, like your guard is so strong," and we were chatting, like we were just like having fun with all of that. So yeah, I was trying to break his grip, because he had really strong grips, and I was trying to. Now he was trying to take me down, but I wouldn't let him. So I had a really strong whizzer, which is like when you hold on to his shoulder, or bicep. So yeah, and then I tried to go on top of him, go mount, because I was trying to get some points, trying to get a lot of points. And then now he's trying his best not to let me pass, because if I pass, it's gonna be another a lot of 3 more points. And
Now, for each competition, how long does it last?
it lasts somewhere between no, not somewhere, sorry, it's 5 minutes per match.
Because
Now
you guys really get physical, and if you don't have the sports-minded people as a competitor, that's it could go on until outside of the gym.
Oh yeah, and I did the same submission to him, because I caught it. His hand was like this, so I caught it, and I did the same submission to him. And yeah, I agree. If you don't have an athlete mindset, if your mindset going into it is he's my enemy, I want to kill him, then if you lose, it'll build resentment and anger and all of that. Oh no, I don't like this match. I lost this match. So I'm not gonna make any excuses. The guy was really strong. The guy was so strong, and I later learned after this match that
Oh, wow, look at that. Ooh.
yeah, he was really, really strong. And my coach was getting really pissed off because he was saying that guy is not a beginner. Like I'm not gonna trash him or anything. You know, he's a good guy. He's a friend on Facebook and all that. But We later learned that he's already he's been teaching for a while now. He has students, which is technically not allowed for that division because that's the beginner division. That's the white belt division. Before when I was currently not currently sorry where I was competing at. So that's why he was able to pretty much dominate me all throughout the match. And then as hard as I tried, I just couldn't because he had so much more experience.
So it's
yeah.
not a violation to be outside of the square.
No, but you're gonna be resetted every time. They're gonna
Once
stop
you,
the match.
once you step out of that blue square,
Yeah.
then you need to do a reset, meaning you
Yeah.
need to go back at the center.
Yes, but that's where that's where a lot of arguments happen because if you're in the middle of a submission and you know you have it, like you really really have it, they sometimes will stop it in order to reset you in the middle. And that's when arguments happen because if you have the submission, let it happen. Don't stop me from getting it because that few seconds of resetting in the middle, that gives the competitor so much more time to recover and, get their mindset of, okay, I know what he's going to do now. I can fight against it or I can figure out a way to, get out of this.
So basically, like that, you guys are like in a combat sport right there, and the points happens like you pin that person. If you're pinning that person, how long does it take for you to get the points?
3 seconds. So with what happened here, okay, so that was really funny. What happened there is I lost, but he did the same submission to me that I did to my other matches, and I was so. My mind wouldn't let me lose, so I waited until it popped, and then I said tap. So that is my that's a really nice match. It's a long match. It's a 5-minute match, so you're in for a while. But there is one highlight to that match that I really like. Oh yeah, see there again that I did my favorite move, which is the double leg. I took a single, I got a single leg, and then went into a double, and then that was my favorite. That was my really favorite. And hello.
Oh wow, that hurts.
Yeah. And then followed up with another ankle pick, and then I got him to the ground. Yeah, that one was the previous one that we showed. But I think they were highlighting the wrestling at this point. Yeah, that one was showed as well. That one yeah, that's the same one with the flying thing, so the flying double leg. That one. Yeah. Yeah, that's the gi portion of it. And this all happened in a day. So this was from 6 a.m. to about 8 p.m. at night. And so I was really tired by the end of this. I think that was about 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. at the time. I was so tired. That's why I really couldn't do much anymore. I was like, I don't want to. It's not that I don't want to compete. Plus, it popped. This one popped. So at the time that I was competing like this, it was already hurting, so I was like, I can't go that hard. So thankfully, that was just one match. So I'm pretty happy that I won that. But yeah, that thing there, I was trying to grab his lapel here, the collar here from the gi, and I was gonna. So when you squeeze down like this, it puts pressure on the trachea, which therefore would, choke him or make it really, really uncomfortable enough for him to tap. But unfortunately, he was able to go out a lot. He was able to nullify that. But now, I went around, and I got on mount. I got on top of him. And the thing I hated here is that I was readying my submission. I was already there. If I had just 20 more seconds, I would have won it via submission. But the time ended, and I just won on points. But I really wanted to end it on a submission. So yeah, that's when they're announcing who won.
Congratulations. You may now proceed to the
And
podium to receive your medal. Thank you.
yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's my sambo competition. That's way different than jiu-jitsu, and you'll see why. You saw that it's much more groundwork, right? Now,
Right.
this is more of a stand-up game. See, see, if this was in a jiu-jitsu match, I would have just gone down or like taken him down and then worked from there. But because this is more of a stand-up game, this is where you'll see that, yeah. So here is the best example of there's still a little bit of grappling involved in Sambo.
Correct.
Because as soon as I take him down, I have a few seconds to work to get a submission. But he won't let me. So, So and the moment we stop, the time stops as well. That me doing that because he hit my eye and everything suddenly got blurry. That right there in the corner, that's my coach, the one in blue. Shout out Coach Jerry, if you're watching. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying. So this opponent that I had is a yeah. See, he took me down. So in Sambo, the moment he takes you down, doesn't matter. Like if it's on a side, he still gets points. And this was like a really intense match for me because there was a lot of pressure because the people or my teammates were really expecting me to win because we were like we really wanted to win. So they were telling me, oh, you should do this, you should win. And so he took me down, but then I had points as well because what had happened was I pinned him. So in Sambo, there's what you call pinning, where you just pin him on the floor. 10 seconds, you get 2 points. 20 seconds, you get 4 points? Yeah, 4 points. Yeah, 4 points. So I pinned him and yeah. So yeah, my opponent here is a judoka. So which you can touch upon later. But yeah, he's a judoka. So he doesn't have any. Yeah, there you go. Then I got my single and I just drove until because I knew that if I didn't drive, he would flip me, he would throw me. So I just kept charging, and thankfully enough, he fell. So I was already up on points, and this was really nerve-wracking because at this point, since he could attempt a takedown and he could throw me and end the match. So because I'm up on points, now I just need to bide my time, get a little bit not settled, but play my strategy, which is just try to evade his attacks. And now I was trying to, because in Sambo there's this golden rule that you cannot disengage. You have to actively engage. And here I was trying to bait him, and there you go. There, I took him down with a double leg. And now I am going to pin him for 20 seconds, which is gonna give me all the points I need to win. Incidentally, during this match, during this particular moment, I was pinning him. He tapped. Right there. He tapped. So I'm up on points, and I won as well with 19 seconds on the clock. I won on points, and I won because he tapped out as well, which is still unclear as to why. So yeah, there we go. That was Sambo Nationals. So pretty proud of that. Yeah, that's just the same clip, same, but from Lance, a portrait. Yeah, these are my friends that recorded it. So yeah, pin. So yeah, that's pinning. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was the takedown I was very proud of.
Pin! Sige, pin mo na! Pin mo na! Tapusin mo na!
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
aggressive audience.
that's Lee. Lee was the one recording that video.
Sige pa,
Thankfully,
sige pa.
in portrait as well, because I was able to
10
post that.
seconds! 10 seconds! Tapusin mo na dyan! 6, 5!
Yeah, there you go. And then there's the tap.
Go, go, go! Tuloy, tuloy!
And then my coach was really getting pissed because he thought that
Ay, hindi tama.
he thought that
11-2 na.
he thought that I that the referee stopped the fight, or not stopped the fight, but like was gonna reset us. And I told my coach that, hey, he tapped. And so yeah, that was it. All right.
Wow. Just watching is exciting, but it looks like it's hurtful. Why
It
would
is.
anybody do this? I mean, there's
is.
other sports, John, that people would like to do it, but I guess because of the discipline, what you said, and the training, I guess people really need to be not picon. They need to be sports minded, because or else it looks like it's hurtful.
It is. Just starting this sport, I've had so many injuries. It is very painful, but you know, you can't get the good without the bad, and the good is it's pretty good when it happens. Like, okay, so there was when I won the nationals. It felt it felt like I was high. It felt like such a high because in my team I was the only one, I think, that won the in our team that that was registered in the competition. I think I was the only one, which made it, much more of a big deal because it was putting pressure on me. And then I said, "Oh, I can't lose. I can't lose. I have to make my coach proud. I have to make my teammates proud. I gotta win, and I gotta show that, Team Valiant. Hey, shout out Valiant. That we got. We're pretty strong when it comes down to it. And yeah, that happened. And yeah, I would say that, yeah, just winning, being able to share that with your teammates, being able to share that, because you're like they're like the top dog of the night. You're like, and the hard work has paid off, because keep in mind, we're training like we're literally training like, not training like, we train as fighters. We do weight cuts, we do intense training regimen, we spar, we sometimes even do, so it's about 2 weeks out, you go into the most intense training sessions, you go into the intense sparring. So they do what they call a shark tank, which is basically, you'll stay in the middle, and each round or every minute someone new goes in, so it's always fresh. And yeah, so all that hard work, all that tiredness all goes away when you win. So yeah, that's why I do what I do it, because you can't get the good without the bad, and the good won't be as the victory won't taste as sweet without it. So yeah.
Then how would you know when you're ready? Is that, whose decision is that to compete? Is it the decision of the coach, or
Yeah.
is it something that you would say to the coach that, hey, I'm ready, let me compete now?
So I personally, I believe in the quote that if I have to cut down a tree, if I have 100 hours to cut down a tree, I'd spend 90 hours sharpening my axe. So I believe in that quote. So I personally don't register to competitions until I know for sure that, I'm ready mentally and physically. But for other people, for my other teammates, you approach the coach and tell him, hey, I'm planning to compete in this upcoming competition. I would like to train for it. And then he will train you, he will drill you as hard as he can to prepare you for that. And um what I like about it is that he will like what I like about my coach is that he will really, really make sure that you win. Like he will invest in you. That's why I think he's one of the best coaches ever. Is that he will fully support you no matter what, and he will drill you like so much that by the end of it, you're confident going into the match. That hey, okay, I've done what I can. I've done everything. The nerves are still there, but you know, you train so hard that it's almost like second nature to you. Like it just clicks when you're there. Like say combat, and then everything goes away, and you just rely and resort to your training, to your instinct.
Okay. And then there's a couple more we need to say hello. Jack Ross says, hello and more power to you, Gabriel. And
Thank
then
you.
yeah, and then of course Jack is from Carson, California. And then we have Lai, Treffer, Denise, Valles. Sabi niya, sent
Wait.
2 to 3 years.
Dagestan and forget.
Stand and forget.
That's the teammate I was telling you about, the one that's very aggressive earlier in the video. Like pin, sige na, pin mo na. That's her. That's the,
Okay. And then of course James Demano.
what's up, Chief? Hey, that's the teammate of mine as well.
And then-
Nathan as well. What's up, Nathan?
And then Nathan Neri is giving you so much fire.
Yeah, that's my friend. That's my teammate as well, Nathan.
Okay, John, what would you, is this jiu-jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Sambo, is this something, when do you think, being that you are in that sport, when do you think you should start? Is there a game plan, or is there an age limit that you could do this? Or how early can you train? Just like karate, remember karate, you could start as early as not a toddler, but a teenager or even younger. But for these combat sports, how early can you? Is there an age that you could start, and there's a limit after a certain age you cannot do this anymore because it's hurtful? It seems like combat sport, it's not an easy thing to do, and I don't think it's for everybody.
So you're correct. There is a limit to this, but it's actually a lot older than you would think. So let's start with how young. So how young is as early as kids. As early as kids. I have a friend. Shout out Renee. Hey Renee. She enrolled her kid 10 years old, I think. Around 10 years old, yeah. To a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, and his Hunter is now training Jiu-Jitsu full time. I think he's gonna compete in about a month or so, or something like that. But yeah, so as early as 10, you can immediately go train and compete. In terms of like how old, so naturally we know that as the older you get, you aren't able to compete as much anymore. So that's why there's divisions, there's masters divisions. So if you still want to compete, you can still compete there. So I think it goes up until master 5, I think master 4 or master 5, which is about, don't quote me on this because I'm not very sure about the masters division, but I think about 60 or 70 years old, something like that. Because for the most part, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a sport that it's a longevity sport, unless you're like a hardcore competitor, but if you're just a hobbyist, if you're just doing it for the lifestyle, this can make you live up until 90. You can still do this up until you're 90. Like, for example, one of our teammates, I think he's back. Yeah, he's back in the US now. His name is, we call him Sir Ben. Sir Ben is one of the oldest people I've ever met that does jiu-jitsu. He's old. Like, he was, I think at the time, I don't know, I'm not sure. And if Sir Ben is watching this, I am very sorry. I think it was around 70 or something like that.
Wow.
And he was training with us, the young kids. And so I was like, oh, okay. So it shows that it works for older people as well. And your question of when's the best time to start? Today. Today is the best time to start. Any day. They say that the hardest belt to get is not the black, it's the white, because you have to show up. That's the hardest part. Showing up. All you have to do is show up any day. Any day. Every day is the best day to start. So you just gotta take that step forward and come join the gym.
And now for training though, how long does it last? Is it a half day, whole day, 2 hours, 3 hours? Just like
It's
a workout in the gym.
kind of like a workout. So it's training is different in jiu-jitsu because we have classes. We call it classes. We don't call it training. We call it classes. And because not technically, it is a class. So the first part is teaching. The professor, the coach, will teach techniques. He will teach you techniques to build your big bag of tricks, basically. So he will teach, and then the latter part is sparring. It's called open mats, and that's when you spar with anyone in the whole class that you want. So usually it's about 2 hours to 3 hours. Competition training sometimes lasts 3 hours because I remember we started. There was a time we started at 7:30. We ended at 11. So,
Now
yeah.
let's talk about how many times you got hurt, and what are those?
Too many.
I would say accidents.
So I'll just list it down really quickly. So, and I'll go by them one by one after I list them. My eye, both my elbows, my shoulder, up until all the way to the back end of the shoulder, both of my ankles, my right hip joint. Yeah. Both my toes on both of my feet. So yeah, those are my injuries thus far. As to what happened, so from the top down, so my eye got poked really badly. That by somebody who shall not be named. But yeah, so basically this is your eye, right?
Right.
So this is basically what happened, or like this. So that it went in like that, and I felt it. I felt it because I felt like intense pain, and I felt like there was a foreign object inside the eye, like no, not the eye, but the socket itself,
Right.
like that, and I felt it, and immediately after it started to really, really, really hurt. And yeah, I went to the ER for that. For my shoulder, I got thrown. I was training with the Sambo national team, and I got thrown, but the throw was kind of bad. And I'm not sure, but I think it popped. Though I think now it's more of a knot than a pop or a strain, I think. So yeah, that's what happened. Both of my elbows have popped multiple times. One is from an arm bar, which is where you try to break the arm like this, going that way, going down. That has popped like that. Not because someone was trying to break it. It was just, a freak accident, because in training they tell you if you have a submission, don't jerk it. Like, give them time to tap. Gently bring it to you. So let's say like that, right? You don't go like that, because that immediately breaks the person's arm. You go slowly, you go gently, you go like this, you go down, giving them time to tap. The person that did it was a white belt, and he went down really quickly and it popped. So the other one, it popped from the competition. The hip joint is just stiffness, I guess, from just overtraining, I would say. Just from training a lot. though it could be subject to all the consecutive damage that I've had. And for my ankles, my beautiful ankles, I've been popping them like candies because they're not as weak anymore. And it all started with rugby because I used to roll my feet, not roll, but like when you roll your feet
Yes.
like that and it pops. Yeah, so that happened before, and because of that, it's no longer structurally strong. So thereby, whenever I train and somebody falls on it or somebody lands on it, it pops. And for the one that was really big was my toes. I got operated on for that. Um, the sambo competition that I had, the opponent that I had, um, basically stomped their feet on mine. That the nail in my toe ended up embedding itself deeper, causing a wound. And the problem was the upper part of it healed, but the lower part didn't. And so it was
Yeah, that's just listening. It seems like it's hurt.
oh, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get a lot worse. So the nail wasn't going out, so it was generating a lot of pus, so it wouldn't heal. It wouldn't go away on its own. So we went to the doctor, and he told us to get it operated on because he needs to get the pus and all the dead skin out and all the nails that were inside. And the next hour and a half was probably one of the most painful hour and a half of my life. He proceeds to inject. So this is your toe. He injects here, 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 and here, and then underneath the nail. This long of a needle he puts underneath the nail of your toe. He injects anesthesia there. Then he starts cutting into it, which I felt. I have no words to describe how painful that was. I felt the cut. So much so that I had to shout inside the operating room and tell them, is it supposed to hurt this much? And then so they added more anesthesia, which really, really hurt. And then they yanked the nail out. Keep in mind, that's your toes. They yanked it out. They didn't loosen it. They just
Yank it
like
out.
that. Yeah.
So
That really hurt.
with all these injuries, you still want to do this, right?
Oh yeah.
Why?
More than ever. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of screwed up in that way. Like I like the challenge of the sport. I like the camaraderie of the people because it's weird because I've done a lot of sport in my life. I've done rugby. I've done powerlifting. I've done strongman. I've done airsoft. I've done a lot of sports in my life, but nothing comes close to the thrill of combat sports. I guess it's knowing that um you're able to use yourself to effectively, you know, compete and basically just be good by being you. Be the best by being yourself. With just
I
a
don't know,
little.
John. It's still
I know.
it doesn't
That's why I
sit
said-
with me like with all this hurt.
That's why I said you gotta be a little. I wouldn't say crazy, but you gotta be a little, not normal to like it. Because I like competing. I like the challenge. I love the challenge. The challenge of the challenge of being better than who I was yesterday, beating myself yesterday, always evolving every single day. Because I could honestly tell you that there have been times where I've gone into a competition and I know I butchered my performance there, and then after a few months seeing, oh, I'm so much better now. What if I did this or that during those times? And so I just like that, the feeling of, hey, I'm getting better 1% every day or 2% every day. It's just a really nice feeling.
Okay. And Elise Ong says, this is alluding to having a partner in life. She said, gusto na naming magkaapo. And then, and there's, and of course, Joselle Robel is watching. And then, of course, happy viewing sa'yo. Then Lev Esler.
Yeah, Lev, what's up, Lev?
Best time would always be now, I guess, pertaining to when when training should start.
Yeah,
Now, is this well? Is this something you would recommend to kids?
yeah, yes, yeah, all
Why?
yeah, very much so. With how rampant bullying is now, when I was a kid, I was bullied so much, and I just think that if I had learned judo or combat karate or jiu-jitsu, I don't think anyone would have bullied me. But yeah, it's a good way to it's a good outlet. So you know how kids have so much energy, right? And sometimes they get bullied as well.
Mhm.
It's a good outlet, you know, for them to pour all of their energy, all of their hate, their anger, or you know, whatever feeling that they might have, because it's very therapeutic, to be honest. I mean, for me, it's gonna be really funny, but it's so therapeutic choking someone out. Like.
But we don't recommend that, right?
Of course, only in jiu-jitsu. Or
Let's do a disclaimer. We don't recommend. It's just like a figure of speech.
yes, unless you're into that. There's no judgment here. It's 2026. If you're into that, you go for it. But you know, disclaimer: only in jiu-jitsu, or you know, with your romantic partner if you're into that. So something like that.
Now, is having a romantic partner can be an inspiration to some people. But
Oh yeah.
are you not afraid though when they find out like a potential partner and they say, so what do you do? What's your hobby? Normally that's the normal questions. And you say, oh, I'm a jiu-jitsu athlete. Don't you think that something could be said about that? That people like, oh my God, this guy is so into it. They might choke me or they might they
Uh,
might throw me from one end to one end. I mean, does it come into I would say discussion?
yeah. Always, always. I've noticed that when it comes to questions like that, especially like for example, you're dating somebody and they say, "Oh, what do you like to do for fun?" You don't immediately say, "Oh, I like choking people and I like breaking their arms and legs and whatever." You just say, "Oh, I have this sport that I always go say I have this sport that I do, you know, it's yeah, it's jujitsu." And then they'll ask, "Oh, because it's not very common." They'll ask, "Oh, what's jujitsu?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just like, you know, it's just like this sport that I do where it's just kind of like play fighting, stuff like that." I say that. And then when I get to know her, that's when I lay down the fact that yeah, it's a combat sport that, you know, not a lot of people go into. And yeah, it's not an awkward conversation, to be honest.
So technically, it's not like a hindrance to find a
It,
partner.
yeah, it's not. In fact, some couples even train together. Like there are a lot of couples in my gym in Valiant MMA and fitness gym. A shout out Valiant, but there are a lot of couples there. They would, you know, like Apple, the friend that I told you about. You said your friend.
Hmm.
Apple trains with her husband.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Yeah, and they train together. They're both white belts. They both started at the same time, and it's amazing because you know they're on this journey together, and it got them closer. So is Devin and Nina. Devin and Nina are really good friends of mine. They are also watching on their TV. They sent me a photo of it. They're watching it on their TV. Devin and Nina are a married couple, and they also train together. And it's so fun because you know it's so funny to see them train because like married couples because they're each other's partners in life and in training as well. And the running joke is if the partner ever does something bad, well, now you know what to do. Now you can choke them. Now you can beat them up, and that's been the running joke of it. And it's so the sport is so inclusive that anyone can join, even even beginners, even married couples. Yeah,
Interesting. Before we continue, let's
Yeah.
hello to the music festival music queen Ivy Violan, and I think Ivy's watching us from Los Angeles. And then Rodel Neri is giving you hearts.
yeah.
Chris,
That's the father of Nathan.
okay, and then Chris Cordero is giving you an arm and hearts as well.
Go, Coach Rodel.
And then Rodel, Neri, Chris Cordero, and of course Brian Lasarte, Lino, give you a heart prayer. I guess because
Kagawad.
of you.
Yeah, we
And then
call him
said
Kagawad.
watching from Pure Gold, Fairview. Yeah, I guess he's there or something. Now, since we talk a lot about that, where do you train? And we'll put that on screen.
Oh yeah. So I train in Valiant MMA and Fitness Gym. It's near Retiro. Yeah, it's in La Loma, Quezon City. That's where I train jiu-jitsu there in the screen. That's where I train. And is that right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So that's where I train. That's where my coaches are, and that's also where a teammate of mine you might be familiar with, Mark Nugan from Physical Asia.
Oh,
From
okay.
Philippines. Yeah, he trains there as well. He's one of my teammates. He's also one of my coaches. So yeah, that's where we train. That's where Coach Jerry is, the greatest coach. That's where he trains. So yeah.
Yo, yo, could you put it up again so we will read the location, because I got a PM, a private message asking where he trains. So it's the Valiant MMA and Fitness Gym, and it's located at 157 Dr. Alejos Street, Barangay Salvacion in Quezon City, La Loma, Quezon City area. So if you guys are interested for your significant others, your kids, go to Valiant MMA and Fitness Gym. I think this is one of those gyms that are preferred by a lot of people. I think, is this the only location that they have?
Yes, that's the only location. For our team, but the whole team, because we're under a team named Fabricio. Team Fabricio. Team Fabricio has a lot of gyms affiliated with the team, but our team under Coach Jerry Legaspi is at Valiant, and dare I say, we are the best no-gi team. I don't know. I think I'm pretty sure it was said at some point that we are the strongest no-gi team in I'm not sure if it's in the Philippines or in Manila or wherever, but I've heard that been said. I've heard that's been said. So
No,
yeah, come
as far
join.
as as far as competition, who dictates where to go? What competition you guys should join, or is it the gym that would tell that?
Oh no, it's a federation that handles all of the competition. So there are currently, I know there are two. It's IBJJF, which is the universal federation all around the world globally, and that's the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. That's the one that handles all the competitions. And then there's ASJJF. I actually don't know what AS stands for, but yeah, Jiu-Jitsu Federation. It's a separate Jiu-Jitsu Federation as well. But yeah, those two, they will hold competitions, and you can join in whichever one you want. And some of them are even international. So some like in Japan or Malaysia or Singapore, I think. So yeah, if you're willing enough and you have the financial means, you can compete in abroad.
Wow. And then hello to everybody who's watching. And if you want a shout out for either from me or from our guests, Gabriel or John, please do so because we have a lot of people watching us live.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
Indeed.
Okay, and then Tess Tolentino's watching. He said, Tess Tolentino, hello, watching from Los Angeles or from LA and giving you some hearts as well.
Oh, thanks,
So how sweet.
Ninang.
Okay, so now that we know where you train, and some people are asking where can we follow John. So can you give us your social media
Yeah, of
platform?
course. So you can follow me on Instagram at John Gabriel O. That's it. That is very simple. John Gabriel O.
And then what other platforms do you have?
I have one on Facebook, but it's basically just John Gabriel. It's connected, I think, to my Instagram, so you can probably find me there. And those are the only. I mean, if we're really shamelessly plugging ourselves here, I have a TikTok as well. If you
Okay,
want to
and
follow
what's
me,
your handle on TikTok?
it's King Kong Jong. It's King Kong and then JONG.
Why
So
King?
yeah, it I use it just for like so my TikTok is more like a diary of sorts. It's not diary, but like a journal. It's journal keeping. It's tracking all of my lifts and my competitions just so that I have a record of it. So that's what I use it mainly for. And for, cooking videos and places to eat at, stuff like that. But
Okay,
yeah,
let's repeat again all your handles. One
okay, so
is for Facebook is John.
John Gabriel on Facebook, John Gabriel O on Instagram, and King Kong Jong on TikTok. That's
Okay,
yeah.
now we got that. Interesting. Oh, and then of course, let's remind our audience, especially the latecomers, that you could watch right after this. You could watch the replay. We're gonna put that in archive replay. All you have to do is go to Facebook page of PHLB Radio, and you could watch the replay from the beginning because you don't want to miss the fights that we showed earlier. And then of course I'm gonna send also a sanitized version, no, the whole version of the show to John, and so he could post it also on his Facebook page and
Yeah.
all his social media platforms. And because I think one person texted me and said a private message, who said, "Oh, I missed part of the show. How can I repeat it?" No problem. We already take care of that. It will be part of our archive. John Gabriel Ong's interview and partly being a guest, he will be part of our archive guest. And just look for PHLB Radio channel, and it will be. We have already a playlist there, and it just look for Alam Mo Ba with Jush Andowitt, and all our shows from inception would be there, including this one. Just give us like I think 5 minutes, and then it will be already posted there, and it'll be posted. I'll send a copy to John, and then I'll post that on our website as well. So at least you would, because I think this it's so enlightening for me as well, very educational, because coming into this survey, aside from the research that I did, I have total zero. I can't even pronounce jiu-jitsu. I just know karate and judo, but never heard of it. Maybe it's my age, or I'm just not abreast with these combat sports. But that is so much information that I'm excited to watch it live, because I think the adrenaline is just amazing if this happens. And before we conclude the show and this interview, let's talk about national team. Do we have the Philippines has a national team for jiu-jitsu?
Oh yeah, we do. We actually do. They train at the headquarters of Team Fabricio at KMA in Makati. We do have that. It's I'm not very knowledgeable about it because it's it's not something I've been a part of, but I am very knowledgeable about the Sambo national team because I trained with them, and yeah, we train at multiple parts, and we do have a Sambo national team that is currently training for a competition in March and in June. Because in June we are going to host an international competition here in the Philippines. So yeah, there's that coming up for Sambo. So that's a pretty big deal because we're gonna be the host nation.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was going to compete for in Davao this coming March 16th to 17th. Unfortunately, it coincided with the Taiwan trip, and I had to respectfully back out. I had to tell Coach Ace, shout out Coach Ace. I had to respectfully, or I had to tell him I unfortunately won't be able to join and compete because I have a trip coming up.
Yeah, with the family, of course.
Yeah, so
Families forever, families love.
yeah, which I mean, I regret a little bit because it's national team and all, but
And there'll be other competition from national.
yeah, that's what they said. That's exactly what they said. There'll be
Yeah.
there'll be more.
Yeah, and
But,
spending time, quality time with your parents and your brother
Yeah,
is
and
more precious.
I'm pretty excited about the food in Taiwan. I've heard lots of good things. That the meat buns, the what do you call that? There's the noodles. I forgot what it was,
Yes.
but there were noodles that I'm excited to try.
So
Yeah.
when you travel with your family, so you've let go of your diet. You let go of that
Oh
one.
yeah, oh yeah,
Also,
oh
it's
yeah,
considered a cheap day or cheap week.
oh yeah. So Daniel, my best friend Daniel, who I hope and pray will be your next guest. Um, Daniel and I have this really funny phrase that we say, walang diet pag nasa labas ako ng Pilipinas. So yeah, as long as you're out of the Philippines, there's no diet. I eat 7, 8 times a day. When I was in Japan, I just ate all the time. I don't think an hour passed where I wasn't eating anything. I was eating, 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 eating. I didn't care. I just kept on eating whatever I want when I wanted. And here's the fun part. I was walking so much. I was walking around 50,000 steps, 50 to 55,000 steps, that towards the end of the trip, I only gained 0.5 kilos.
Wow.
And I was eating every day from breakfast to midnight. I was eating so much.
Interesting. But John, it's been almost 2 hours.
Oh,
I
it
was
has
so
it.
enlightened. If I get enlightened, I know the viewers as well and people who will continue watching the replay. By the way, hello and happy viewing to our team replay and team share, because this continues on and on and on, and people will just watch the replay as well as the competition itself. But thank you for enlightening us with the difference between Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well as Sambo, and we kind of touch on other aspects of it. Thank you for letting us know that you personally recommend this for kids, as well as there's no limit to that. Thank you for taking us to the wonderful world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, as well as Sambo, because when I was researching, I thought Sambo is like a dance.
Yeah.
Really samba. And
Yeah.
honestly, this is the first time I've heard about Sambo. Then I have to do my research. What is Sambo? And then the difference between Jiu-Jitsu and Sambo. And then the difference between Judo too. And thank you for enlightening us with that and informing us more about it, and your personal experience, and the sacrifices and the hurt that you acquire, and the badge of I would say experience joining this competition. And I am still surprised and at all why after all these injuries that you at such a young age acquired, and you still into the sports. Kudos to you, and I really am amazed that you have not given up, because we know some people a little hurt would say I quit. And I wish you the best in all the other competition. Hopefully I'm here and I would be able to watch it live.
Yeah, I
I
hope
plan to
so.
watch it because I think my adrenaline will be so pumped up that I'll be one. If somebody was screaming on the video like pin him down, and maybe I'll be one of those two be on the
Yeah.
video who's saying that.
It's actually funny you say that because in a competition when you watch someone you know competing, it's as if you aren't able to stop yourself from shouting. Like you really have to shout. Like you really wanna say, "Oh, do this, or do that, do that." So yeah, it's gonna happen to almost everyone.
I could
Wait,
imagine.
yeah, and I also have to clarify. I forgot to say this part. Valiant MMA and Fitness Gym is also where you can train Sambo.
Oh, okay.
So because Coach Jerry, my coach, he's the head coach for the combat aspect of Sambo because there are two. There's
Mhm.
combat Sambo and then there's sports Sambo. He's the head coach of combat Sambo, so he is also able to train you there for that. So there, if anyone's interested in Sambo, they could also train with us there because that's where we do most of our training sessions. For the federation that handles the Sambo competitions, it's P Institute. As far as I right, yeah, Federation Incorporated. Sorry, it's not in institute. It's Filipina Sambo Federation Inc. PSFI. So they are the ones that handle all the competitions, the trainings, all of that, all of the new gyms that are popping up for Sambo because they're trying to really develop it. They're trying to make it into a bigger thing, kind of like how Taekwondo or Karate is to schools, to after school activities. They're trying to do that with Sambo. And because last year, they did it in Davao, Batang Pinoy.
Mhm.
They did a training program, or not program, but they did a program where they got kids to train in Sambo for a couple of months, and then they held a competition specifically just for kids. And yeah, it's been a really amazing turnout, and they hope to grow it. And so this is me shouting out um Filipina Sambo and all the good that they've been doing. So yeah, and I hope to yeah, it's nice to see them grow and grow and grow.
I think it's good also that there's an alternative instead of doing drugs and doing kind of crazy things. It's better to just be one getting some sports under your belt, and then if you are you have so much energy and aggressiveness in you, join a gym like Sambo and Jiu-Jitsu. I think you could let out your aggression there without committing any crime. At the same time, it's a good discipline, a good way of meeting people as well.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Highly recommended.
Yeah, I never would have met the people I've met, like such as for example, the president of Filipina Sambo Federation, President Paulo. I met
Mhm.
him because he's a person that also trains with us during trainings. Like he still trains along with his son. Chino si Tangkon Chan is from what I heard. I don't know much about but I think he's part of the not Olympic committee. Sorry, he's an Olympic scholar. That's what they call him.
Right.
So yeah, so I've never would have met those people if I didn't join this, if I didn't train Sambo, if I didn't train Jiu-Jitsu, I never would have met my coach, a good friend of mine. I would have never met Mark. Um, I would have never been friends with him if I've never stepped foot in a gym, if I was too afraid to uh, s- just take that first step to try. Yeah, and so that's why I fully endorse this to kids all around the world. And if you're scared, just remember, life is life is equally as scary. but you're still going through it every single day. So why not do something else? Why not do something interesting? You know, take as much of have as much lore as you can get. So yeah.
Any last message to your friends, supporters, family, and people who would like to try Sambo and Jiu-Jitsu?
So I would say that I would reiterate my message earlier saying that the best time to start with Sambo, with Jiu-Jitsu, with any sport, any contact sport, any combat sport is now. And that's the hardest step, is just the first step. That's it. Everything from there will fall like dominoes. Please support Valiant MMA and Fitness Gym. Come join us, come see us, come train with us. And Pilipinas Sambo as well, Pilipinas Sambo Federation Inc. Please support their programs. Please come and watch them compete and keep giving them the love that they deserve, because it's still a growing sport and we need as much help as we can get. We need as much support. Same for my team and jiu-jitsu. Like, come support my coach. He's a really good guy. Come support my teammates. They're really awesome people. And yeah, if you're still here by the end of it, then yeah, please follow me too.
Well, John, it's like 2 hours on this
Has it?
interview. Yeah.
I hadn't noticed. It was so fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you as
Thank you
well.
for your time. Thank you for sharing us your intimate knowledge about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well as Sambo. Much
Thank-
appreciated. By the way, those people who will be still watching part of it, we'll show you some pictures of things that John had shared with us, his championship medals and all that. It will be our end credit. So before we close, my advice every time that I advise, a reminder every time that I close my show is be kind. You can never go wrong with kindness. And any act of kindness that you do to people, it will come back to you in so many ways, so different times, so different people, and different situation. And when you wake up in the morning, be grateful that God gave you, or the Supreme Being gave you, another page to write your story, and choose to be happy, guys, with all the things happening, whether in the Philippines or across the globe. Choose to be happy, because it kind of set up the whole day. So regardless of what problems might come your way, if you choose to be happy, everything will follow suit. And with that, I hope to see you tomorrow. I have a brand new episode tomorrow for Dear Kuya Josh. And here in Manila, it's going to be 2 p.m. In the States and other parts of the country, just check your local listing of the show. But if you're watching in the Pacific, it's going to be 10 p.m. there. So looking forward to seeing you. If I don't see you tomorrow, you have a wonderful weekend and enjoy the rest of the week. Also, I pray that God bless your next week and make it a productive and phenomenal, amazing week as well. And with that, maraming salamat, John Gabriel Ong. And kudos to you and to your other competition. Looking forward to seeing you and watching you in some competition. And with that, maraming salamat po. Hello, everybody. As always, this is not my show. This is our show, because it takes a whole village to have a show like this. So thank you. John, I will speak to you later, and you take care, and say hello to your parents, and
As
God
well.
bless you all. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.